passiontimes.hk。
喂 ，hello，好耐冇見喎，個冷氣好嘈啊！喂，咁啊話説最近咧，我哋終於賣出咗一隻訂做嘅中提琴啦，咁好犀利咁樣。咁而家首先要做咩咧？首先要做嘅係還債，我要還翻之前嗰啲維修債，有啲琴未整完咁樣。咁咧，而家就整緊呢個，係啦，呢一度。咁我琴下邊呢度咧，你見到少咗一忽噶嘛，係咪？呢度咧，我就要補翻一粒呢嚿咁樣嘅嘢落去，咁佢嘅功用攞嚟托住啲線嘅，咁樣啲線就會咁樣，有塊板扣住4條線，跟住然之後塊板跟住下邊就晾咗呢個位啦。咁啊，因為呢隻黑色嘅烏木咧就會硬身啲嘅，咁所以咧就會係即係需要用到呢一嚿咁嘅木啦。咁我而家就要批呢嚿嘢，而呢嚿嘢就係佢嘅好處就係硬啦，咁佢壞處就係佢好硬啦，咁樣咁所以呢嚿嘢咧就批到天光啊咁樣。咁啊，經歷過好多個禮拜來來回回，拎翻屋企攞個鋸啊，又度位又鋸啊，咁樣，終於就擺到入去啦。而家就叫做要再執靚仔啲咁樣。首先咧就喺度側邊畫翻條線先，咁畫翻條線攞嚟度位啊，簡單啲咁講。呢度唔係好 fit，搞一搞先。咁咧，我哋咧就要刨到佢呢一個位90度角，去 fit 翻佢呢一個窿啦，睇唔睇到啊？咁我呢個位置咧就要靠手感。即係如果你唔係 fit 嘅話，咁你會 feel 到佢搖搖地噶嘛。即係如果唔 fit 嘅話，係啦，即係如果佢唔係好 fit 嘅話，咁你就會感覺到佢搖搖地咁樣。咁就刨一刨佢咯，咁我去調整佢個角度，調整到佢兩個一樣咯，係啦。咁當然你話做木工有冇啲工具可以度到佢90度咧？有嘅，咁但係你未必知佢係咪90度噶嘛，即係佢係會有少少唔係好準。咁跟住然之後你就要去到去同佢黐得埋，所以黐得埋係嗰個我哋嘅目標。我哋嘅目標唔係要佢90度，我哋目標要佢黐得埋。所以呢一個咧就要憑手感啦。即係你冇得話攞個機啤一嚿嘢90度角咁咪搞掂咯，係咪？係咁簡單就唔會收咁貴啦，係咪先？咁所以呢一啲咧就要憑手感慢慢 fit 翻準佢嗰個位，咁樣。咁所以呢一個咧呢度就貴啊。呢度咁樣。跟住我哋喺佢外圍畫翻條線咁樣，咁我哋拎出嚟工作嘅時候，我哋咪會知道佢個位置係喺邊度咯，咁樣。OK， 睇先呢一度，呢度就係呢度，係啦。跟住我哋就喺度畫咗啲線啦。咁樣側邊畫咗啲線啦，側邊呢條睇到清楚啲嘅，咁跟住就畫咗佢個線咁樣，跟住就冇錯啦，要令到佢 fit 翻去原本個位，我而家畫埋條線先行過去另一邊，咁樣咁跟住畫嗰條線，有啲地方要手畫啦，有啲地方就托住個琴畫啦，咁樣。咁當然 in the end 你都畫唔到線，因為個鉛筆線都有粗幼㗎，係咪？係啦，咁樣，咁所以咧就要去搞佢。咁跟住我哋而家轉一轉畫面，跟住慢慢褪過去嗰邊先。係啦，咁我哋就褪過嚟另一邊。咦，有工作嘅聯絡喎，等我覆下 message 先。係啦，哎呀，好點啊？ 咁樣。咁跟住咧就喺度跟翻條邊咁樣切咗個形狀先，然之後先至再用個刨咧去刨到佢啱位嘅咁樣。好cut 一 cut 先。好，繼續工作喎，個冷氣真係好嘈，熄咗佢先。好，雖然而家天氣已經轉涼，但係始終都係做嘢嘅地方唔開冷氣都係搞唔掂。嗱咁首先我哋圓翻佢條邊咁樣，佢呢度會有斜斜地有個三角形嘅 angle 嘅咁樣。咁咧，我哋咧就會咧沿住我哋嗰個鉛筆痕切走咗先，咁樣有個邊出嚟。喂，睇唔到，呢度。用刀會唔會好啲咧？不過刀有時可能唔夠硬啊，真。如果細粒嗰啲我就一定用刀嘅，但係呢個咁鬼大嚿，我驚 OK 都還好。咁即係跟住我哋呢度咧，係，咁我哋呢度咁樣切咗個邊喺度啦，嗱，呢度咁樣切咗個斜斜地嘅邊，咁跟住然之後我哋係咪喺呢度又切一個斜斜地嘅邊，跟住刨有條直線過去咁樣咯，即係當然嗰條直線又要曲曲地喎，因為你要就翻我琴側邊嗰個弧形，咁所以呢個就好高難度啦，咁樣。咁亦都係點解收咁貴啦？如果你純粹係一條直線可能擺落去啲機器嗰度謝一聲咁就搞掂啦。咁但係唔係啊，因為佢有少少曲，咁就所以令到事情更加麻煩啦。亦都係點解咁難整啦？尤其是你越大就越難整咯。係啊。咁樣，咁你而家見到咪有個 curve 啲嘅形狀係咪？即係當然 curve 得嚟要再平啲嘅，咁但係我而家大致像素俾你睇，就會咁樣啦。咁跟住然之後 curve 到 merge 埋咗呢一度，咁樣而家就太過 round 啦，要再平啲啦咁樣。咁但係落到去咁樣，咁就會係啱個 shape 咯。咁跟住然之後咧，再拍翻埋去，因為個鉛筆線有厚度噶嘛，我哋就要再切少少度一度，切少少度一度咁樣。咁佢希望去到咧。即係我哋老師會話係會 flush with the edge， 咁就去即係好完美無縫咁樣喺個好 smooth 咁樣，你摸住個邊，跟住然之後會捽落去，你唔會覺得拱起咗一忽或者凹咗落去咧，咁就係最理想啦咁樣。咁咧係啦，你哋嘅腳睇喺度整啦，先睇唔睇到我個樣？睇唔到。咁佢話而家切埋另一邊啦。 咁樣切咗個斜邊出嚟先，咁樣都係一樣啦。對唔到焦係啦，咁樣切咗個斜邊。哇！近睇影到我好多鬚根，係因為而家戴口罩，所以成日都唔記得咗要睇鬚。居然有冇人睇到喎？咁樣好麻甩咁啦。咁跟住啱啱又有人走過嚟聯絡換工務咁樣，咁就超級高興啦！咁樣哇，真係好耐都冇接過換工務嘅工作咁樣。雖然嗰個工作係Joey做嘅，咁所以我好高興咯，因為唔使我做，係嘛？係換工務都困難，我好想去美國咧上堂學整工務啊！學整換工務啊！即係始終都係有老師教我就會安心啲。如果唔係咧，喺度上網睇片學，始終都唔係幾好。即係雖然有好多嘢都可以上網睇片學咁樣，而家好多電動嘅木工工具都要上網睇片學咯。即係始終學校就唔會教晒我哋整所有嘢。尤其是咧，即係而家有人 order 整中提琴啦，但係我嚟緊下一年嘅目標係想可以整到大提琴。喺香港，咁但係就需要要地方大啲啦，同埋要需要多啲嘅工具去到整佢嗰個琴嘅模啦，等等。咁呢個就好麻煩，因為喺美國始終咧地方大啲咧，你有時啲嘢搬嚟搬去啊，張台又大啲啊，成啊咁樣咧，咁都會簡單啲啊嘛。但係你喺香港咧，喺香港全部嘢即係個地方細啲啦，最主要係。咁樣就會令到個事情好困難，即係好似我而家喺鋪頭，我擺唔到晒所有機器，唔係因為我冇錢啊嘛，而係因為冇地方啊嘛，黐線。咁我亦都冇理由租個貴 double 嘅地方嚟到俾我擺晒所有機器㗎。即係而家交租已經好吃啦，如果要租個大多好多嘅地方咁樣，咁就會做唔住咯咁樣。即係而家嚟到講賣到一隻琴，其實都係叫做勉強有一個。低過人均入息中位數少少嘅人工咁樣，咁不過因為我自己住屋企唔使交租，淨係交呢度租咁都還可以。咁但係就其實講唔上係一個高薪厚職，係。不過即係貨我而家嚟到講，因為喺香港教琴好揾咧，咁我又教下琴，跟住又整下呢啲，咁其實就 OK 嘅，即係我自己嚟講。咁但係問題係，咁我而家要養埋Joey，要好努力。好唔容易啊，咁樣，跟住同埋有時做埋好多嘢，而家做緊好多嗰啲工作都係，有時我要整一個工作咧，跟住又要去買工具啊咁樣咧，咁所以呢個就會即係都好吃力。你快啲揾人買小提琴啦！整小提琴最唔辛苦㗎啦，相對上。所以我哋老師都主要淨係整小提琴，同埋會整中提琴咯。大提琴佢都唔係好整。咁但係我自己會拉到嘅，我就想整啲自己會拉到。如果唔係咧，整極小提琴我拉唔到堂咩？係咪先？冇理由跟住我攞小提琴拉，淨係可能拉到嗰啲6級波咁樣咁嘥夠氣嘅。好啲都係太大嚿嗱，即係譬如如果我哋要有啲弧度啦，咁樣要有啲弧度啦，即係有啲弧度，但係又唔好去到拱起成座山，即係大概係你拉到係接近一條直線，但係又有少少 curve， 咁嗰個就最理想啦。咁樣咁所以呢個亦都係個難度所在。難度我可以扭轉宿命。唉。 跟住同埋嗰個弧度要有機 curve， 又係憑經驗、憑感覺咯。即係你唔係電腦啊嘛，我冇得同你講喺度嗰個弧度要點樣拉條線出嚟咁樣。跟住有時網上面你又會見到啲圖咧，有個小提琴，跟住又有人喺度畫好多點，畫好多圓形喺上面嗰啲晒夠氣啦條。你邊會有個人做木工嘅工作會畫咁多線喺上邊咧？同埋你嗰個係咁立體嘅嘢，你只不過最後做出嚟，跟住你再用電腦修正翻少少啲弧度，你可以畫到好多圓形嘅咁樣。咁佢本身做個 form 嘅時候，當然佢都會有啲，佢都係畫好多圓形嚟到去做個琴嗰個模出嚟啦。不過大問題，你知道實際唔會噶嘛，即係實際唔會做到咁準噶嘛，尤其是古時候你唔係電腦整出嚟噶嘛。你而家嗰啲吉他嗰啲，你可能個模係用電腦整出嚟，跟住再鋸咁樣，咁你就梗係容易，咁佢梗係會準好多啦。咁但係你諗下，400年之前啲人點會做得咁準？同埋佢哋做好大個量噶嘛，即係一個即係出名嗰啲師傅啦，講緊佢可能一生整咗500至1000隻琴，咁即係你一年整10至20隻，咁你點會做得好？即係唔會係做到雕花咁噶嘛？即係當然有好多師傅手工都好靚，咁但係靚嚟到講都係快得嚟靚，就唔會係喺度雕花，喺度畫好多線咁樣計好多數咁樣，唔係咁樣做。即係佢哋唔係數學家啊嘛，係咪？佢哋係優秀嘅工匠啊嘛。咁所以嗰啲圖同你講到話，就呢度一個圓形高一個圓形出嚟咧，咁個聲音就優美啦，咁佢晒夠氣。咁個聲音優美嘅定義係咩？個聲音優美嘅定義就係你嗰隻琴似古代嘅嗰啲琴，咁你個聲音咪優美咯，咁樣。咁所以佢哋做出嚟嗰啲聲音就係優美嘅，佢嗰個係標準嚟㗎嘛，就係。跟住仲有呢啲位要小心冇拍到手啦。跟住就開始研究下唔同嘅木工嘅工具啊，咁樣。翻到嚟要去搜尋下佢嘅工具嘅中文名叫咩名都好唔容易。跟住之後又要研究下佢點用啊，跟住又成啊咁樣。即係不過而家我覺得好咗嘅，而家應該係比起以前。你又可以上網睇，跟住同埋又多咗後生仔做木工咧，咁咪會多啲人拍片擺上網啊咁樣樣。哇！如果唔係即係以前真係你唔通叫我專登走去學裝修咁過嚟整小提琴咩？發癲係咪？咁所以就 overall 而家都好咗嘅。即係而家咧係會網上面有嗰啲嗰啲係做木工嘅 KOL 咁樣，咁跟住就會可能佢哋開啲鋪頭賣啲電動工具產品啊，跟住然之後再拍埋啲片啊咁樣樣，咁就會令人容易學咯。不過始終喺香港最難做就係因為始終地方唔夠咧，你好少人喺屋企 DIY 做木工。你如果喺美國就多，尤其是即係好唔同就係因為你去到嗰邊咧，你喺美國嗰啲咁嘅地方咧。嗰個揾人整嘢好貴嘅，因為你喺嗰啲鬼佬地方都係啊，咁嗰啲材料又平，但係手工又貴，咁所以好多時啲人咪會自己整咯。即係可能你揾人整嘅時候，你揾人整一次，跟住然之後你就已經係你揾人整一次就可能嗰個價錢已經夠你買嗰個工具啦咁樣。咁就好多人就會喺度諗，咁不如我自己買個工具自己整啦咁樣。咁當然你買咗工具，你通常都整唔到嘅。如果你冇嗰個根基嘅話，同埋用電動工具，如果你冇嗰個基礎，係好容易會冇手指嘅。咁當然賣工具俾你嗰個，佢冇咁嘅責任去照顧你啦。 咁如果你用咗工具之後冇手指，咁就你嘅錯啦。咁所以有啲太危險嗰啲工具我都唔會買咯。即係雖然我知佢嗰個原理，即係有時有啲工具出名冇手指嘅就冇謂試啦。即係而家啲工具都安全過以前好多嘅，佢有好多嗰啲叫做台灣就叫做防呆裝置，防止你發呆嘅裝置。咁樣咁就去保護翻你，以防萬一你嗰日傻咗，跟住唔知點樣，咁跟住就會以防萬一，咁就可以即係佢有啲即刻剎停嘅自動剎停嘅機制咁樣咯。咁但係 in the end 都係你個人要小心咯，同埋你要知道自己個狀態幾時唔得咯。即係譬如你知自己嗰日個狀態唔得嘅時候，你就唔好搞嗰啲嘢咯。尤其是如果你係喺屋企自己 DIY 嘅狀態唔得，你咪休息咯，咪翻工。咁翻工就如果你係可以控制到嗰日唔做嘢嘅，咁你知自己嗰日狀態唔得都可以唔做㗎。跟住嚟緊，我就係要買把直梳，唔知你哋知唔知咩叫直梳咁樣？咁就可以喺度鋸下木板啊咁樣。咁當然唔喺度做啦，喺屋企做啦咁樣。但係喺香港就都擔心啊，會唔會嘈親人咧咁樣？因為喺香港做呢啲嘢都好似比較麻煩。係咯，噪音都有一個問題咯。好彩屋企都有個後花園，咁啊還好，即係起碼都唔使擔心啲塵啊，唔使擔心啲貓啊咁樣。韞住啲貓喺屋企，但係都唔容易啊咁樣，所以而家個目標就係下年可以整到大提琴咯。今年就要整2至3部中提琴俾個客試咁樣，因為我都希望即係我老師就會做3部俾個客試嘅，即係如果有人訂嘅話咁樣，咁如果3部都唔滿意先再諗啦。咁但係即係咯，有多幾部揀就好似開心啲咯。咁同埋佢揀完之後剩低嗰啲我都可以攞去賣噶嘛。即係如果有人買嘅話，咁同埋我原本個目標我都係諗住做到6部可以擺喺度賣嘅小提琴，跟住然之後再做3部中提琴，跟住之後就開始做大提琴嘅。即係我目標就係鋪頭會有呢幾樣嘢咁樣樣。咁所以就係咪都會整啊咁樣？咁而家有個客訂咗，咁啊好有啲資金俾我做啲中提琴咯。咁跟住個客訂1部咁樣，咁我就可以有多2部咁樣放喺度咁樣，跟住再整多1部就達成我有3部擺喺鋪頭嘅目標啦。咁樣，咁跟住就同埋就開始整大提琴咯。咁個客訂完之後，我就會有2部中提琴喺鋪頭。跟住就可以開始整大提琴，大提琴都需求大嘅，尤其是我識本身嗰啲，我本身係拉啲低音大提琴，咁我啲 friend 都拉大提琴多，所以點都係整下，即係佢哋又同我容易啲宣傳咯，即係有時俾啲學生啊乜成啊咁樣都好。不過都而家首先要整好個琴帽先，整啱咗個琴帽啦，咁跟住之後整琴就其實容易好多啦。對我嚟講，整大提琴最難係琴帽，我嗰時喺美國整啊。我喺美國整咗1個月啊，黐孖筋個帽，未計其他工作，黐線。咁所以我覺得喺香港最大嘅挑戰係整個大提琴帽啦。冇錯啦，就係咁樣啦。好啦，我繼續整埋呢嚿嘢啦，一路整一路講嗱，都整咗咁耐都唔接近，係咪先？咁你哋就知道有幾辛苦啦。 好，就係咁，下個禮拜見，拜拜。
Hi guys, welcome back to the English portion of the show. So I think I might do 2 parts today because湘傑said he only has like an hour of footage. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else is going to upload a video. So I guess I'm gonna have to do 2 parts. Well, this week's been a good week, so I'm gonna like share good news with you guys first. So this week, last week, this week, I can't remember. Well, it's something that I haven't told you guys before. So we actually left some instruments in the States to sell on consignment. We left them at a really big store, and we left a few of our violins and one of Lawrence's cellos. Well, he only made 1 cello. But his cello is sold! It's the first of our instrument that's sold in the US! And it's amazing, because now we can tell people that our instruments are also sold in the States. It sounds pretty cool. And then a few days ago, someone ordered a custom viola from us. So I'm gonna have to start working on that, and it's gonna be hard work for a few months, because I'm gonna make 2 so he can choose from 1. So I'm so glad. So it's gonna be, our first custom made viola. So exciting. And also the other good news is that like our first our first series, Tokkakto, is gonna come out end of this month on October 30th. So it's gonna be 5 episodes, and I think they're doing the final editing now, so it's gonna be out. I'm so excited. And yeah, and it's gonna be 5 episodes, so it's gonna finish within November. And then I realized our zombie series is gonna air. The first episode of the zombie series is gonna air the night right before my birthday. So even though it's not a toy hingkek, it's gonna be my sangyetkek. So yeah, that's really exciting. So yeah, that's the news of this week. And as promised from last week, I'm gonna talk about Midnight Club. So I finally finished it. Actually, I ended up watching like 5 episodes in a row on, I think, Sunday night, because I was too tired to actually work on anything. I was like too tired from shooting the night before, so I didn't do any work on Sunday, but watched Netflix. So yeah, and I finally finished the whole series, which is 10 episodes. And as I said before, it's the Netflix series The Midnight Club. Is adapted from Christopher Pike's works. And Christopher Pike is my favorite author in childhood. I think, I do have pretty much almost all of his books. Well, he's got like 2 different levels. He's got a really young readers level, and those are mostly like horror stories. And then there's a young adult level novels that would be he covers quite a lot of different genres in his work. So there's sci-fi, there's horror, there are thrillers, there are fantasies, and stuff like that. He actually also has a few adult novels which are really good. But I think he's lesser well known as an adult novel writer because he mostly writes young adult books. And I think most of my books are still at Lawrence's place because that's where I left my stuff when we went to the US. So I can't really refer back to the original novel and compare it with the series. And apparently, well, actually the Midnight Club, even though it's like a series, and the Midnight Club is actually one of Christopher Pike's titles, so it's one book. But then because the story of the Midnight Club is about a bunch of teenagers telling other stories, so instead of the original stories in the Midnight Club, well, the main storyline of the series is on the Midnight Club. But the stories inside the story is actually an anthology of all of Christopher Pike's work. So they put in a few different stories into the Midnight Club story and made this TV series. Christopher Pike is definitely, I think, as a grown-up now, I believe a lot of my beliefs and my worldview and things like that, my personality is, I think I was most influenced by the Christopher Pike. And for Chinese writers, I was most influenced by Wai So basically Wai or Ai Hong and Christopher Pike are the two writers who influenced me most in my life and probably made me who I am today. Or made my beliefs how they are today. But I won't really go deep into that because I'm talking about the TV series. Anyway, so it's multiple different stories weaved into the story of Midnight Club. Actually, let me check the episode list again. Then I can tell you how many books or how many of Christopher Pike's stories were adapted into that one TV series. Let me see. Because I finished it, they won't. I can't find it right away. Okay, I have to search Midnight Club. 10 episodes. So there are a few stories. So the Midnight Club is one book in itself, and there's the Two Danas, which is another of Christopher Pike's stories. The Wicked Heart, Give Me a Kiss, See You Later, Witch, Road to Nowhere, and The Eternal Enemy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stories weaved together into one in 10 episodes. And there's... So pretty much the story, I'm gonna talk just generally about the story, just in case you guys do want to watch it. But actually, I do believe, after watching the 10 episodes, I think it's really more geared towards a younger audience. So maybe adults like us might not enjoy it that much. But I do like it. It's just... It's a little unusual and it's not exactly very young or it is maybe. It is quite young adult because the stories are among young people. So I'm going to talk about like the general frame of the story, the background of the story. So the Midnight Club is about this girl. Our main character is called Ilonka, and she got diagnosed with thyroid cancer right before she was going to go to college, and treatments didn't work. So she was... Oh, the story is actually set in the 90s. So we do see some really nostalgic things in the show. So she went online, Ilonka went online to research upon any cures on thyroid cancer. And it's really funny because it was in the 90s, and in the 90s the mainstream search engine was Yahoo search. So it's really old school. So she was like using old school computers searching on Yahoo search. And then she found a person who apparently was cured miraculously from thyroid cancer, and another teenager like her. And that person was in a hospice for terminally ill teenagers. And she found this information of this person called Julia Jane. And she also had thyroid cancer like maybe 40 years before the story. 30, 40 years. And and this Julia Jane went to this hospice, and she actually left the hospice and went home because she was no longer terminally ill. So Ilonka decided to want to try to go to the hospice and find the cure for herself. And so she went to the hospice and met the other residents of the hospice. There are 7 other residents. And okay, I think our audience might find it a little too woke because of the races, of the ethnicity of the characters. So there are 8 teenagers altogether, and we only have 1 white guy and 1 white girl. And then we have 2 like black girls, and then 1 other black girl who's not like really black, but probably like Caribbean black kind of. So 2 white guys, 3 black girls, 1 black guy, 1 Indian guy, and 1 Asian girl. So the majority of the cast are supposed minorities. Yep. But then I guess the races of the characters really don't matter too much, because I guess in Christopher Pike's books, I mean like I've been reading them since the 90s, I guess, when I started to be able to read. And I don't think he ever, most of the time, he didn't really describe the characters' races or ethnicities that much. So to me, I think anybody can be the characters in his book. So it's okay. And also there are homosexual people in the stories, in the series. I mean, like, there are, I think 2 of them. One of them is definitely gay, and the other girl is a lesbian, kind of. Well, we didn't see any of her actual romances, so yeah. But that that's also okay, because I do know that there were like gay people or other people in Christopher Pike's book. So I mean, the series didn't really deviate from the books that much. I mean, like, the series didn't make white people become black, didn't make straight people become gay. So it's not that relevant. Just in case you're gonna go watch it and then you turn it on and then you'll be like, what's this woke shit? I mean, like, it's not that woke, so it's okay. I mean, like, they didn't even go into any discussion about races or anything, so I find that okay. And also, the story is the main thing here. I mean, like, it really doesn't matter what race they are. And since this is kind of like a sci-fi horror fantasy thing, so it's a little scary at times. I think the scary bits are mostly in the middle, in the first half of the story. There are a few jump scares. Actually, there are a few jump scares like scattered through the 10 episodes. And so after Ilonka went into the hospice and met all these other residents, and then she found out that they have a club called the Midnight Club, where the kids in that hospice, they would gather at midnight and then they would tell stories to each other. And they also made promises to one another that when they do die, I mean, like, because you know they're all gonna die in the end. Because they're all terminally ill. And so you do know that they are gonna die, and they promise one another that when they die, they will try their best to come back and give them a sign to show them that there is an afterlife, and to show the friends that they're okay in the afterlife. So that's a promise they made. And so throughout the story, and then so a lot of the episodes, apart from the main frame of the Midnight Club, they will tell stories that are condensed into one episode. It could be like a whole Christopher Pike novel, but they just condense it into a very short story to put into the series. In a way, I don't find it very fair to his other works, because there are other works that are really great, and I do think they warrant a show on their own. But I guess the makers of the series, it's Mike Flanagan, who made some other horror series, who made this this Midnight Club series. And Christopher Pike was also the executive director, so he overlooked everything, and I do think he's pleased with the results. It's just that I think they're a little greedy in trying to put as many of Christopher Pike's work into the one story. So everything is a little too condensed. But you would get the gist of the story, but then you won't be very moved by the stories because it's just too short. You don't get to know the characters enough to feel that much about the story. But the main frame of the Midnight Club is really good. I mean, like, you do get to know the characters, and you do feel sorry when they do pass. And a lot of the stories are not only just about horror, it's also about living and dying and what's worth more, or the story's trying to tell you, like, everyone is dying. From the moment we're born, we're all dying. And so it doesn't matter when you die, but what you have done when you were alive. And it's also about how people would just want to live. I mean, like, these kids, they all went to the hospice. And the hospice promotes itself as a place where they can make choices about living and actually enjoy the life before death. So the hospice is not about fighting the disease. It's not about trying to fight for another day, but living the most of your remaining days. And so it's also about accepting death, that someday we all die, and about mending relationships that's a given. I mean, like, if it's a TV series about people dying, I guess they would mend their relationships before they die. And making new relationships, like, among the teenagers in the, like, friendships and stuff in the hospice. And it is a little heavy, kind of, like, for a young adult series. It's a little heavy. And because they're, like, coming to terms with the fact that they would die, and there was one of the main characters actually did die within the 10 episodes. So it's a little heavy, but it's also about coming to terms with their fate and hoping. How hope never dies, even if the person dies. And there are, I mean, like, the ideas in the series, I guess it's a little juvenile for adults like us, but it is relevant, like, to everyone. Even though, I mean, like, we forget that we will all die. We will all die at some point. I mean, like, it's not something that we think about in our daily lives. We do not expect to die. Nobody ever expects themselves to die today. But you know that that's a possibility. And you don't think about it, because if you think about it all the time, you won't be able to do anything. But because you don't think about dying, then you don't think about living either. You don't think about what matters to you most in your life. I mean, like, this, I believe that the story, one of the main themes of the story is reminding you that death is always around the corner. And for these kids in the story, I mean, like, they know they have not that long to live. So they remember to actually live their lives. And I guess as adults now, I guess maybe even teenagers or kids would think about these things more than us middle-aged adults. We don't think about death, so we don't remember to live. We don't remember that maybe there are relationships that need to be mended. Maybe there are things that you want to do, but you never come around to doing it because you think you have a lot of time to live. And this story, because death is looming on them, I believe it just wants to remind us people who don't think that we're gonna die anytime soon to remind us to live, remind us to enjoy our life and do things that we do want to do in our lives instead of like fighting. I mean, like, those are kids in the story, so they don't work or anything. But I guess for us adults, we always think about how to make more, how to work harder. We would concentrate on things that are more material in our lives instead of more intangible things like relationships and stuff, or even relationships with your family. So even though it's a little juvenile and there are some episodes that aren't, like, there wasn't much going on, and so it went some episodes were a little too slow. But all in all, I do think it's quite a nice TV show. And actually, I'm quite surprised. I thought they were only going to make one season. But actually, they left a lot of untied knots by the end of the story. Like, the Midnight Club story is actually not finished yet. And so I guess they are hoping Netflix will renew it for a second season, because even at the very last scene, like, we see, well, I'm not gonna tell you the story, but yeah, there is a hint that there will be a second season. Because when I got to the last episode, I was like, wait, but what about all the, okay, there were like kind of like ghosts in the hospice that only two of the kids saw, but the other 6 kids never saw them. So at the last episode, I was like, are they going to explain the ghosts? And then turns out at the very last scene, it's hinting that there is a second season. So I guess for me, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys will want to watch it or not. I mean, like, you guys can watch like one episode and see if you guys like it or not. For me, it's a childhood thing. It's a childhood nostalgia thing. That's why I liked it. So, but if you guys aren't sure, just watch one episode and see if you want to go on watching it. I mean, like, I'm biased, so I can't really tell you if it's that good or not. I can just say that it might be a little juvenile. So if you guys want to try watching an episode or so, just try and then let me know what you think. Okay, so my half hour is almost up here, but I'm gonna do one more part. I'm gonna work on some stuff and show you guys. So I'll be right back. Hi guys. So I'm gonna continue with the video. And today's part of my work is to do some more antiques on this instrument. So I varnished this like completely before, and then we did a little bit of antiquing. Well, Lawrence did. He wiped away some of the varnish to make it look old, but now I have to put in some more details, and I'm not quite sure if I have enough tools in here for that. So we're just antiquing an instrument, so we're just trying to make it look old and worn. So on an instrument, the varnish would wear off and it would become dirty. The varnish could crack because of heat, humidity, time. So old instruments all look really battered up like this, but I have to add in some more details for this. And I'll have to see, so I have to make some scratches. It's a really stressful, scary process. And my art teacher is like super good at it. He's like famous for his antique work. So I get really stressed at this step because I don't want to fail him. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in some scratches with like, I've got some rocks and like random tools to make scratches. But I'm not sure of like my, because my varnish this time is a little thin. So it's not very pretty. I have to get some. And I feel like the rock that I picked up from outside my place, they're a bit soft. I don't know why. Making some scratches so I can try to use some tape to remove some varnish in a bit. Especially like on this side, like because we play it like this, and sometimes a bowl would hit the instrument's body, so I need to add some more scratches in areas like this to imitate how it will look like when it's worn. Oops. Anyway, let me try to it's not really sticking out the varnish. I think mostly because the varnish is a little too thin this time. But anyway, I'll still make some scratches in the varnish. I probably need more scratches. Hold on, let me get another tool. I got a pointy scribe to make some more scratches. You can see if that helps with my, not really. I don't think I like this tape very much. Maybe make a few more scratches. Then, okay, I don't like this tape. Doesn't really stick out that much varnish. it's not very pretty. I just have to. And then I'll use a bit of alcohol to remove a little of the varnish. Okay, I'm supposed to put on gloves, but I forgot, but never mind. Let me try to do this. This varnish to actually come off a little here, and it's not doing very well. Okay, let me try to stick it more. A lot of time, a lot of patience, and it's difficult. You can't really do it in one go. You have to do it multiple times for it to look nice. Okay, I managed to stick off a little bit more of the varnish like here, so there's a bit of a transition into the full varnish. Do a little bit of the same on the other side, actually here too. Feel like it needs a little more transition. Well, even if I can't remove the varnish, like too much of the varnish, these transition areas later on, I'm gonna put I'm gonna imitate the dirtiness of the antique instrument. Oops. How many stones do I have to flop? And yeah, I'll add in some dirt. Well, pretend dirt. Stop this. And after I add in the pretend dirt, it will look much more natural. Tape is not that great. It's like it's leaving the sticky bits on my instruments, but not actually removing anything. You might have to experiment on other brands of packing tape. Well, we managed to put a really tiny bit in there. Well, I'll try to remove a little more of the varnish with some alcohol. And I'll so much stuff that I do not want on the table. Anyway, and I'll sand it a little. So my dirt will stick on better in a bit. Okay, I really don't like that tape. It left a lot of the stickiness on my instrument. Have to get some new tape, I guess. Anyway, so I added some scratches like on both sides here. Now I'm gonna try to put, let me put my rocks back. And I'm gonna try to put some of that dirt I talked about. To do that, okay, I need several things. First thing, I have to put my instrument on a safe surface. And then, I'm gonna put on gloves for this because I'm gonna be rubbing dirt onto the instrument with my fingers. Why's the pinky finger not coming out? I wasn't gonna make any video about antiquing at all because I don't wanna let the whole world know my teacher's secret or his method of antiquing because he's so good at it. And he actually wouldn't teach other students. We begged him for a long time. Like, we wanted to learn antiquing, but then it's not within the syllabus. So he was like, oh, after you graduate, you can come back with your instrument and I'll teach you. But then after we graduate, we cannot stay in the States. So we just begged him. We're like, can you please teach us? Or else we'll never be able to learn this anywhere. So in the end, he gave in and taught us. Okay, let me prepare the dirt. So I'm gonna use some oil colors like black and brown. Oops. These gloves are a little too big for me. I'm gonna just squeeze a little of the oil colors onto a glass plate. I'll try to use very little because last time I didn't use up all of it. I felt like it's such a waste. So I'm just squeezing tiny blobs of oil colors onto my glass plate. And I have some cooked linseed oil for me to mix. Well, to dilute my oil colors a little. So drop of that also on my glass plate. Sorry, I can't be bothered to move the camera. So just know that I have 3 blobs of oil colors and a drop of linseed oil on my glass plate. And so I'm gonna start with where I did the scratches just now. Also have some notebook paper. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it in a minute. Okay, so with my fingers, which you cannot see because it's on the glass plate, with my fingers, I'm gonna mix the 3 oil varnish with my linseed oil, bunch of dirty stuff on my finger. Then I'm just gonna rub it onto the areas where I want the dirt to be. And it's sometimes it's a little difficult to get it in there, especially on the back because it's smoother than the top. Like the greens on maple is not as 3D as spruce. So it's a bit smoother. So it takes a bit more effort to get the dirt into the grain lines and the scratches. That's why it's good to have those scratches just now. I'm just gonna do the middle part all in one go. Without the scratches, it's a bit difficult to get the dirt to stick onto the instrument. And well, let me finish putting it all over the middle part of the instrument first. So I'm just using my fingers and rubbing it on. Rubbing hard, trying to get it into the flames, the scratches, the grain lines, all that. Okay, so I put in a bunch of the oil colors. You can't really see that much of a difference. And then I'm just gonna use some notebook paper to further rub it into the grain lines and scratches. Now that looks better, much better. At least I feel like. Okay, so where it was really smooth on the edges before, now I have some, can't really see, it's really difficult to see. I have some scratches with some black bits to imitate dirt in there. But I feel like the middle part with less varnish is a little too dark or a little too dull. In that case, I'm just gonna get a kitchen towel. Being stingy, make my kitchen towel smaller, last longer. I'm just gonna get a kitchen towel and lightly pat it to remove a little of that extra dirt, or we call it patina. Some areas I just don't want too much of it. I just wipe more off until I find it more natural. Okay, so you can compare this middle part to these parts. It looks more natural than these parts because these parts are a little too bare. And if it's a really old instrument, like, it would be bare, but then it will also be dirty. So that's what I'm doing right now, trying to add dirtiness to these areas and make it look old. Instead of right now, it's just like a little fake old. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna add any more scratches yet. At least I'm happy with these areas, so I don't think I need more scratches. So right this moment, I'm just kind of adding dirt and getting it caught on the roughness of the wood. Actually do it all over, even on the areas with the varnish. It's just more obvious on these bare areas to show you guys how it looks. Now you can compare again. This area and this area. My camera can't show it quite clearly. Actually, you can. You can see there are like black bits on the grain lines, and that's what I added just now by rubbing it in. So the bare wood doesn't look too fake. There's some dirt in there, but I find it a little too dark as well, so I'm just gonna blot a little bit of it off. And make sure it doesn't look too dark. Well, even if it looks too dark, I have methods to make it, to brighten it up in a bit. Okay, I still have a few minutes left. I can do that bottom part as well to show you guys. Actually, I'm gonna have to rub it all over, even the varnished areas. But these areas, actually, the varnished areas, at some point when this is dry, I would use a brush to add on more details. Like, I would probably darken the corners a little bit more, because dirt tend to accumulate in areas like this. So with a brush, I will do that at a later stage. For now, I'm just really roughly imitating the dirt all over the instrument. The really smooth notebook paper can help the patina to really get caught in the grains and all that. It also helps me wipe off a little of the extra. A little dark, and then I'm just gonna blot it again. And if I still find it too dull after the dirt, the patina is dry, then I would do, there's another step that I can do to make the instrument look brighter again. That looks fine to me for now. A few more minutes, I can do the lower part. Maybe because I've sanded it a bit, it's a little, oops. My patina's getting caught quite fast in my instrument. Oops. We might have put a little too much oil. Got it on my leg. So I'm just rubbing it more. Ooh, I can hear the beeps of my rice cooker. My rice is done. Can go eat after I finish doing this. Okay. So I rubbed it on with my fingers. Gonna use the paper to get it caught in the grains and the flame and the scratches again. I really do feel that adding patina to the instrument gives the instrument a bit more character, kind of. So there. So it looks, if you remember, it looks really different from when I first started. These areas is not like bright yellow anymore. It's a bit darker because I put in the black, the dirt. Again, of course, I'm gonna have to blot a little of the bits that I find too heavy. But so far so good. So at this point I would, well, the back is kind of done at this point. I'm gonna do the rest without you guys watching. And then I'll have to let it dry in the light box for maybe a couple of days. Then I can go on putting more scratches or removing more varnish or adding more patina, stuff like that. I'll decide when it's dry, and because the antiquing process can go on forever, depends on how much you want to do. So yeah, so this is how it's done, and that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
劈啪樂壇嘅時間，咁今個禮拜咧我就已經係筋疲力盡啦，就係因為下個禮拜一咧就要考呢個 anatomy 啊，咁就大家都捉唔到佢點樣問，大家都即係覺得好撚多、好撚大，用英文根本就溫唔晒咁樣，咁啊疲於奔命啦咁樣。跟住就係啊，咁樣，但係咧就都要做節目嘅，咁啊係我哋堅持嚟嘅，咁啊只有廢柴先會攞考試嚟做藉口嘅，我覺得。但係今次考試俾我好深嘅體會咧，就係我由細到大咧都唔會因為考試啊，唔會因為功課咧而停止學琴嘅。或者好少啦，或者我冇聽我媽講過話，因為考試所以就唔學琴會停課咁樣，咁樣戇鳩咁樣廢柴嘅嘢，我係冇發生過咁滯嘅，即係喺我記憶裏邊我冇發生過啦。但係而家啲兄仔，即係依家啲僆仔係個 norm 嚟嘅，一考試唔學琴嘅喎，一考試就乜撚都唔做嘅喎。屌，肯定喺匿埋屋企打機㗎啦，不撚樣，又唔走嚟上堂，咁係一件好撚戇鳩嘅事啦，咁樣，咁就係啦。但係今次考試咧，
我為咗今次考試，我推咗好撚多個 job。我2個 weekend 冇開工啊，即係上個 weekend 啦，上個禮拜啫，上個禮拜6日啦，加埋今個禮拜6日我都開唔到工，因為我冇時間溫書啦已經。咁就咁就唯有溫快啲啦，咁啊效率高啲啦，變得更強啊令自己。但係我就覺得，唉，好撚難啊！屌，唔怪之我10條A 先可以讀醫學院啦。仲要我哋嗰一科係已經係出到好撚錢 spoon feed 俾我哋嘅啦，叫做咁就唉，希望吉人自有天相啦，過得到就贏噶啦，我覺得唉。好啦，咁咧就今個禮拜咧點都要作曲嘅，作少少啦，作少少都要作嘅，我覺得。咁咧就咧，我作乜嘢咧？因為咧我成日喺度作曲啊嘛，咁咧俾同學聽啦，咁樣啲同學咧就啲同學咧就可唔可以作首 Only You 咧？咁樣咁我睇下可唔可以作首 Only You 啊？Only You 可以做standard 嘅可能性。可唔可以做 contrafact 咧？咁就我都唔知。佢要整 transcription，睇下先。Only you，嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟，佢應該係普通32巴 form 嚟嘅啫。Only you，oh fuck！或者咧，佢有2個選擇俾我，一係作 Baby Shark 啊，Baby Shark 同埋呢個Only You。屌唔係啊，唔係要唱呢首，我要唱羅家英嗰首。自己執其實都好快嘅，但係我唔可以喺度執咯。呢個都得嘅。Only you 次次都係呢個 print，即係我唔係執唔到啊，係懶得執啫，只係我而家要用嘅，因為咁佢都好詳細。唉，都係唔好用 Only You 住啊，定係揾多一揾咧？Chords。 哦，羅家英版啊，好啊，Exactly what I want，一個吧，得，Only you。但係呢首歌係咪真係叫 Only You 啊？嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟。哦，咁撚長嘅，你作咗咁慢，唔係喎，68嚟喎，嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟。要執一執喎，唔聽首歌好難執喎。我記住咗 Only You 啊，仲有呢個 Kiss 啊，就係聽眾嘅委託啦。咁撚多嘢要做咧，一定要作到嘅，唔係一定會作到嘅。雖然咁撚多啦，但係依個 moment 咧，真係頂唔好啦，就真係咧要攞翻啲看家本領出嚟咧。好，咁咧就咧。有啲乜嘢啊？我都唔知。好，唉，11月、12月，唉，咩 Jazz Tunes 啊，要重複使用咯喎，唔撚得喎。唉，屌，攞 Minor Blues 作住先啦，有產出好過冇產出啊！ Minor Blues 係咩感覺嘅咧？俾大家聽下啦，不如。Minor Blues，Minor Blues。啊？冇 Minor Blues，屌你！哦呢度 Blues。Minor Blues。一首 major blues，一首 minor blues 啦，咁咧就就係呢個啦，六節藏象論、鈴蘭秘典論同埋呢個五臟別論啊。咁咧，我咧就冇打算就用 Minor Blues 作晒咁多個嘅，咁又冇咁瘋狂嘅。Minor Blues 作咗最長嗰個啦，咁啦就 Minor Blues 六節藏象論啊，作咗呢個先啦。咦？喂，屌你老母！喂，唉，好麻鳩柒撚煩。好，咁咧就其華在面。大約相中期望之本，神之變也，其華在面，充在血脈，為陽中之太陽。帝若壯將如何？其百若生，這生之本，神之變也。其實應該識帝若生將如何？其百若帝若喪將何如？其百若生者，帝若壯將如何？其百若生者，神之變帝若壯將如何？其百若 若終將如何？其百若心這心之本也，神之變也。帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面，其血充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通於夏氣。帝若終將如何？帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。帝若終將如何？其百若心這要快啲。終將若心這心之本，神之變也。攞唔返。帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面。有冇得第二個㗎？揀第二個 feel 可唔可以㗎？冇咁多。有冇啲 feel 可以令我心情即刻變好㗎？咦？如果轉咗 even eighth 呢？120呢？如果帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。都係唔好啦。帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中太陽，通諸夏氣。其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。帝若終將如何？OK。Medium upswing。帝若終將如何？其百若心這心之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。帝若終將如何？其百跟唔到，第一次、第二次跟唔到。帝若終將如何？ 其百啊唔係啊唔係啊，帝若壯將如何？若三者，生之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。帝若壯將如何？三帝若壯將如何？啊，應該緊湊啲。帝若壯將如何？其百若心者，生之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。帝若壯將如何？其百若心者，生之本，神之變也。其華在面，其充在血脈，為陽中之太陽，通諸夏氣。好，點寫好咧？點寫好咧？啊，下次先寫啊！屌，我識唱啦，好唔好啊？點寫好咧？嗱，因為上次咧作 Major Blues 嗰陣時咧，我就咁樣寫咗，即係圈咗嗰啲 Beat One 咯。咁我照版主本寫咗先啦，我連埋下次一齊寫落個譜度啦。冇咁撚多時間啦，唉，咁啊好緊張啊，咁啊緊張到就撚快死啊！屌！啊！俾啲咩我睇啊？啊！俾女我睇真係好。啊！好開心啊！馬東石證實已登記結婚，17歲小女友，唔係17歲，小17歲，細佢17年。哇！屌！哇！正啊！好，唉，唔好睇社交媒體啊！屌你老味，作曲啊！啊，點樣俾大家睇好咧？等間我 reload 呢個一次，大家就睇到啊！我喺呢個度改會唔會寫到呢度啊？帝若壯將何如？壯將如何？壯將如何？其百若心者，心之本，心者，心之本，神之變也。其OK。屌你老味！呢個係第二行。 壯將如何其不若？唔係呢度。其華，哇 real time 喎，原來真係屌。在面，其華在面，其佢會顯示翻出嚟㗎，好撚勁啊！我覺得。咦？但係佢幾時？delay 一陣嘅，但係會顯示出嚟嘅。咁得啦。十零秒之後會顯示出嚟嘅。陽像中之太陽。夏氣，通於夏氣，通於夏氣，通於夏氣，夏氣。好啊。陽中之太陽個陽字，為陽中之太陽。好，繼續。唔好咁快啊，大佬啊！其實一樣嘅啫喎。低若光將如何，其百若廢者，氣之本，魄之處也。在毛，其充在皮，為陽中之太陰，通於秋氣。低120會移長啲。低若光將其百若廢者，氣之本，魄之處也。低若光將如何，其百若廢者，氣之本。其充在皮，為陽中之太陰，通於秋氣。有啲音唔確定嘅，確定下音。低若光將其百若廢者，氣之本。如果4個都係 C minor 咧，低若莊將如何，其百若廢者，氣之本，魄之處也，魄之處也，魄之處也，魄之處，魄之處也，魄之處也， 魄之處也，魄之處也，魄之處也，魄之就係處，唔好撚玩啦！屌你老母個閪，魄之喎，魄之喎，講呢啲喎，魄之處也，魄之喎，屌你老母，唉，魄之，唉，屌那星啊！魄之梗唔係處啦，仔都生咗兩個啊！屌，魄之處也啊！嗰兩個音點擺好啊？我揾唔到。繼若江將琵琶若廢者，其之本魄之處也。帝若莊將琵琶若棄之本，魄之處也。魄之處，魄之處，處也，魄之處也，魄之處也。我唔想知魄之係咪處啊，唔關我事，問情風啦，屌！魄之處也，魄之處也，魄之處也。我唔可以咁快出個 F 㗎。魄之處也，其之本魄之處也，魄之處也。其華，如果翻下邊，魄之處也，魄之處也。其之本魄之處也，其華在毛，其充在皮。為陽中之太陰，通於秋氣。莊將如何？琵琶若廢者，其之本魄之處也，其華在毛，其充在皮。為陽中之太陰，通於秋氣。帝若莊將如何？琵琶若廢者，其之本在毛，其充在皮。帝若莊將如何？琵琶若棄者，其之本魄之處也，其華在毛，其充在皮。為陽中之太陰，通於秋氣。好，腳寫帝若莊將如何？我第二段係用藍色嘅，心係用肺就係用白色啊。金色嘅肺。 廢者，廢者棄之本，魄之處也，魄之處也。其華在毛那那咪哩，其華在毛，其華在毛，其充在皮，充在皮，為陽中之太陰。於秋氣。三呢？腎煮水，俾個藍色佢啦，藍色。帝曰終將如何？其不曰神者。神者主治。哇！呢句唱一唱喎，唔識。帝曰終將如何？其不曰神者。帝曰終將如何？其不曰神者。主治通之本，精之處也。哇！一輪嘴喎。神者主治封藏之本，精之處也。神者主治封藏之本，精之處。好。神者主治封藏之本，精之處也。其華在發，其充在骨。唱多幾次個頭先，個頭有啲唔同。神者主治為封藏之本，精之處也。其華開發。神者主治封藏之本，精之處也。得爸爸頓，精之處也。精之處也。OK。神者主治封藏之本，藏之本，精之處也。其華在發，其充在骨。 這主意唔見咗神這主旨封藏之本精之處也其華在發其充在骨中之笑音通於東氣為音為音為多為音中之笑音，音中之笑音，通於東氣。大概咁啦。音吧吧吧吧吧吧吧吧吧吧吧，通於東氣。乾綠色啊，木啊，神這主旨。呢個 number one 係啊，改咗少少。低若壯象，白羊光者，下之本也對也。係咪有啲嘢錯咗咧？低若壯象。低若壯象，白陽光者，白極之本是對也。其華在面，光者白極之本是對也。 唱多咗好多咁，好似乾都係一個麻煩嘅嘢。唔係喎，好撚多嘢喎！喂，去到呢度通於春氣嘅喎，通於春氣嘅喎，心肝脾肺腎，心肺腎肝脾咧，脾同其他，哇！屌你老母個閪！乾者白極之本雲字句也，其華在走。哇，唔得喎呢度。乾者白極之本雲字句也，壯將。得喎，帝若壯將百若乾者百之本字句也，其華在走，其充在根，以生血氣，其酸其食燥，乾者。陰中之少爺，唯有係咁啦。乾者白極之本雲字句也，其華在走，其充在根，以生血氣。壯將乾者白之本字句也，其華在走，其充在根，以生血氣，其酸其食燥，為陽中之少陽，通於春氣。中之少陽，通於春氣，為陽中之少陽，通於春氣。好，唯有係咁啦。乾者白極之本雲字句也，乾者白極之本雲字句也。係啦，乾者白極之本雲字句也，其華在走，其充在根，以生血氣。 熱生血氣，其味酸，其色蒼。味酸，其色蒼。肝為陽中之少陽，肝為陽中之少陽，肝為陽中之少陽，啱冇啊！肝為陽中之少陽，通於春氣，肝為陽中之少陽。肝為陽中之少陽，通於春氣。肝為陽中之少陽，通於春氣。肝為陽中之少陽，通於春氣。係啦，大概係咁啦。1、2、3都係嘅呢度。肝為陽中之少陽。係啦，好，跟住咧就咧，脾為大腸、小腸三焦膀胱者，湯廩之本，形之居也。此至陰之類，通於土氣。好啦，我作埋呢句啦，我真係要走啦，我要溫書啊屌！哇，使唔使Joey睇下先？Joey有幾多片先？各位，我今日只係得1個鐘頭，你哋可唔可以錄多少少呢？稍為翳契大咁撚樣，翳七叔同Joey。脾為大腸、小腸三焦膀胱者，4個巴都作得晒。啊，作埋呢句啦，俾我係啦，死㗎啦我屌，唔撚掂啊，係啦。脾為大腸三，脾為大腸、小腸三焦膀胱者，脾為大腸、小腸三焦膀胱者。 少少頭熟嘅。脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，蒼冷之本，之居也。若氣能化糟粕，轉味也，出者也。大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，蒼冷之本，形之居也。氣能化糟粕，轉味也，出者也。脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，蒼冷之本，形之居也。若氣能化糟粕，轉味也，出者也。脾胃大腸，脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，蒼冷之本，形之居也。明若氣能化糟粕，轉味也，出者也。脾胃大脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，蒼冷之本，形之居也。若氣能化糟粕，轉味也，出者也。其華在其華在唇四百，其華在唇四百，其充在肌，其味色黃似字音之類，通於時氣，通於土氣。其華在唇四百，其充在肌，其味甘，其味黃色黃似字音之類，通於土氣。其華在唇四百，其充在肌，其味甘，其色黃似字音之類，字音之類，通於土氣。其華在唇四百。黃色嘅土要同金色分開啊！其華在唇四百，好嚟一，哇咁高擦撚淺色，深色少少啦，屌你！其華唔係。脾胃大腸，脾胃大腸，小腸三焦，膀胱者，三焦膀胱者， 三朝膀胱隻旗，蒼廩之本，蒼廩之本，形之居也。名曰氣，能發糟粕。名曰氣，能發糟粕，轉糟粕轉未移，糟粕轉未移，轉未移，轉未移入出者也。其華在唇四百，其充在其華在唇四百，其華在唇四百，唇四百，其充在肌，充在肌，其味甘，其味甘，其味甘，其味甘，其味甘，其色黃，其色，其味甘，其色其色黃。此之音之類，至音噠噠噠類，至音之類，至音之類，通於吐氣。屌你老母啊！喂，寫嘢啦，柒頭。通於吐氣，唱多一次先。啊，12點幾啦，仆街啦，含撚啦。微微帶着小松三朝，光者蒼廩之本，形之居也。名曰氣，能發糟粕，轉移入出者也。其華在唇四百，其充在肌。其充在肌， 字音之類，字音之類，通如土氣。唱多次啊！好啊！凡11種，唉，做埋一句啦！屌你老母個係。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。有啊，取決於膽。凡11種，11種，皆取決於膽。凡11種，皆取決於膽。係啦，類似咁樣啦，作咗半首啦。今個禮拜叫做至少 at least 有啲產出啦。咁咧就咧，其實西醫嗰啲根本就應該唱歌嚟俾鳩柒撚咗佢，但係就仲未取得其要啊！唉，我有一日就作鳩柒撚咗佢。我啲 anatomy 一定要叻撚過啲西醫，撲你個臭街冚家富貴！唉，就真係講粗口唔係放負，講粗口算係激勵士氣嘅一種啦。咁樣就係啦。咁我已經將個波射鳩柒撚咗俾 Joey 啦。Joey 咧就話會錄多啲咁樣樣，咁希望大家咧就睇 Joey 點都睇得愉快過睇我噶啦。咁啊就係梗噶啦。咁咧就但係好多謝大家陪到我呢個咁嘅地步啦。咁樣嘅。好啦，咁樣就今個禮拜嘅時間咧就到呢度啦。咁咧就下個禮拜時間咧就再見大家，拜拜。
睇完節目記得 like、comment 同埋 share 我哋嘅 channel，收睇最強頻道，訂閱熱血時報。